All right, hello, Hecate and Gnostic Circle. Today's lesson is about the importance of the moon in planetary magic, okay? This is something that Hecate has taught me recently. And when I say recently, I mean actually several months ago, but it's recent for me, okay? When I talk about, like, as in my entire practice and learning and all of that, 6 months is pretty recent. But it's very interesting, and I know that I had said in the last astrology lesson that I was going to go into more detail about using Jupiter and Venus for prosperity magic and stuff like that. I'm still going to do that lesson, but this lesson is more, I think, more important because it's a big piece of wisdom when it comes to using planetary magic in general. So using this, and then with the future lessons that I do about prosperity magic with Jupiter and Venus, this will really help with that, okay? So I'm just going to go ahead and go right into this. Basically, you know how goddess Hecate is associated to the moon. They associate her with goddess Diana, goddess Artemis, and associate her with the moon. There's a reason for that, basically. A lot of times mythology is a way of, similar like in Christianity, how you have the parables of Jesus or whatever, where he told stories, but they had a deeper meaning spiritually. Okay, mythologies are stories that have a deeper meaning when it comes to magic, when it comes to spiritual practice. Okay, so Hecate being associated to the moon really is a big thing that you need to know when it comes to your magic, okay? I wrote all this information down, so I'm just going to go through the list because I wanted to teach it to you guys in a really concise way. Hecate is the bridge between humans and the divine, okay? Y'all go ahead and get the book called Hecate Sotera. I think I recommended that before already, but it's by the author Sarah Johnston. Okay, y'all need to get that book. It's really good when it comes to learning about Hecate. Okay, in that book, there's a chapter about Hecate and the daemons or demons, and also known as intermediary spirits between humans and the divine. Okay, Hecate is the goddess who rules over these spirits. All right. So, also at the same time, Hecate is a bridge or a intermediary spirit herself between humans and the divine. So, what does this have to do with the moon? Okay, well, basically, the moon is literally like a satellite of Earth. It transmits and receives communication and power from the planets, okay? So let me explain how that works. Basically, and I'm going to post an album in the group probably shortly after I post this video, that I put pictures in this album where it gives you like a pictorial example of what I'm about to say, okay? But basically, every single month, the moon goes through a cycle, okay? The lunar cycle. And so I'm talking about the lunar month here, from, dark moon to full moon, back to dark moon again, okay? I'm not talking about the months of the Gregorian calendar year, or whatever, the 12 months of the year. I'm talking about the lunar months, the lunar cycles, all right? throughout that lunar month, the moon will pass and conjunct every single planet in the sky, including also to the sun, because the sun's not a planet, it's a star or whatever, but it's still considered planetary magic or whatever. So this happens every lunar month. The moon passes and conjuncts each planet, okay, and the sun. Of course, at the new moon or the dark moon is every month. That's going to be when the moon's conjuncting and passing the sun, okay? But aside from that, the moon will conjunct and pass by each planet, okay? And there's an importance to this because basically, now this is different also too each month because the planets are always in different positions. So it's not going to be the same every single lunar month. It's always changing. It's always different. The planets move through the constellations at their own pace. The sun's in a different constellation at its own pace. And the moon's going to be waxing and waning in its phases at different times when it conjuncts the planets, okay? So the importance of this, to go back to the first point, is that the moon is a transmitter between like us and the other planets, okay? So now when you apply this to your magic, what's the importance of that, okay? Specifically, when you apply it to your planetary magic, let's say that you want to cast a spell, okay, because right now, as I'm recording this video, the moon is conjunct the planet Jupiter in the constellation Leo, okay? And you'll see that in the album that I'm about to post after this video. So right now, for example, would be a really great time to cast any kind of planetary magic to do with Jupiter, okay, because the moon's conjuncting it right now. So therefore, any spell work or magic with the planet Jupiter is going to be extremely easier to do, more powerful, more potent, because the moon is conjuncting it right now. And as the transmitter of the planetary spheres to connect with ours, with the Earth, that is going to be amplified, okay? So let me see if there was anything else I needed to say with this. Sometimes the moon also will conjunct more than one planet at a time. This usually happens with when we get to the dark moon and the new moon and stuff like that, because the moon will be conjunct with the sun every time at the dark moon, but also too sometimes Mercury and Venus are very close with the sun. So at those times the moon will be conjuncting the sun and Venus at the same time and things like that. And I'm sorry, Vesta kicked the table, y'all. But that's going to have an influence on your magic, okay? Because you're going to be able to combine more easily the different magics of the different planets. And this can work with invocation magic and high magic, and as well as with manifesting and stuff like that. I'm sorry, y'all. Vesta's running back and forth and kicking this table. Okay, but so as above, so below, okay? When the moon is conjuncting with these different planets, how you're going to incorporate that into your magic is the law of as above, so below. What you're going to do is you're going to gather together and combine on the physical plane, you know, on the lower level, because as above is the planets are already combined up there, but as below is when you're doing your spell work and you're bringing together the different components, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to use the herbs the stones and crystals, etc., whatever planetary correspondences, like the colors and such like that, the right sigils and the pinnacles of Solomon, if you use those. And I'm just going to use the example of what's going on right now in the sky, where we have Jupiter and the moon conjunct right now. So in order to use that magic the most powerfully, this would be a great, and it's also Thursday right now. I know it's Friday when I'm recording this. Sorry about that. But what you're going to do is you're going to bring together the different items, okay? So you're going to mirror and reflect in your spell work what's already going on in the sky. So you would put correspondences of the moon and correspondences of Jupiter and bring those together, and it's going to amplify your magic and your spell work that much more potent, okay? So basically, you're going to want to incorporate basically the moon into all of your planetary magic to make it the most effective and the most powerful. So every time when the moon is conjuncting the planet that you really want to work with and use the magic of, y'all, that's when you're going to want to wait basically and time your spells out to when the moon is conjuncting that planet, is what I'm trying to say. So, and every single time, definitely incorporate the moon's energy and correspondences with the planetary magic that you're doing. Because as above, so below. When these planets conjunct in the sky, the magic and spell work that you cast with your candles and ritual tools and all of that stuff is a mirror and a reflection of what's already going on in the celestial spheres, okay? And so also too, this is why in ancient times they would always invoke Hecate at the beginning of every type of ritual, because they understood this and they knew that it was very important to have Hecate as an intermediary spirit when it came to working with the other gods, which the other planets are the gods, okay, y'all? So like Jupiter is Zeus, Venus is Aphrodite, Mercury is Hermes, and all of that, okay? The moon was Hecate to them. So they would always invoke her first at the beginning of every rite, bring in her energy, and it would be when the moon was conjunct with the proper god that they wanted to work with, okay? So this is kind of a short little lesson that I wanted to include, as it's really important to know this and to apply this in your planetary magic. And so the next astrology lesson that I do, I will go into more depth of using the planets and the planetary magic itself. But just keep this lesson in mind and in your wisdom and knowledge, because it is a major secret of power that most magicians and witches don't know. When they do their planetary magic, they don't know that you're supposed to wait until the moon's conjuncting that planet to make it the most powerful, okay? So I just wanted to include this lesson for you guys, and I will be posting a photo album with the pictures of what I'm talking about. And I have already told y'all in the last astrology lesson, I think, that you should download this app on your phone if you have a smartphone. That's called Star Chart. It's in the Google Play App Store. And you can just download that app. It's free. And by using that app, you'll know how to plan your spells out when the moon's going to conjunct what planets, okay? And also too, with the waxing and waning of the moon, you guys, of course, keep that in mind as well. When the moon's waxing, it's going to be when you're able to do the spells for increase and creating. And when the moon's waning is when you're going to be able to do the spells of destruction and decrease, okay? But I think, like I had told y'all already before as well, you can cast any kind of spell during the waxing and waning phases of the moon. For instance, some people think that you can't cast a money spell when the moon's waning because that's the energy of decrease. But really, you just need to think about it differently. You can cast a money spell when the moon is waning, but you're just going to have to focus your intention differently. Instead of focusing on increasing money in your life when the moon's waning, you will focus on decreasing lack, banishing poverty, okay? Think like that. You can work both ends of the spectrum, okay? So you can cast a spell for any intention, regardless of the moon's waning or waxing. You just have to make sure that you set your intention correctly with the powers of creation or destruction, okay? So when the waxing moon is conjunct Jupiter like it is right now tonight, would be a really good time to do money spells or spells for increase in your power, in your aura, your energy field, to just have more energy. This would be a great time to do that. If, for instance, the moon was waning conjunct Jupiter, you would want to do like a banishing of poverty, a banishing of lack of money, a banishing of lack of energy, okay? So these are the types of things I wanted y'all to start thinking about and wanted y'all to have in this lesson. Let me know if you have any questions about this. I don't think I forgot to cover anything. Let me take another look over this real quick. Yeah, and the constellations are an important part of this too. I will also include that in the photo album. Some information about when the moon's in different constellations and the energy that carries as well, because that's another important thing when it comes to planning your spells out for the most power, okay? Because Hecate teaches me the secrets of power, okay? And the secrets of power are not just about your consciousness. They're not just about your mindset and your approach. They're also about the cycles of nature and timing your spells with that for the maximum amount of power that you can harness, okay? Because as above, so below. You have to align yourself with the divine will of what's already at work, okay? That's how your spells are going to be the most powerful. So, yeah, the constellations are an important thing as well. When the different planets are in different constellations, there's some where they're exalted in, and their energy's amplified in, and there's some constellations where the planets will be in detriment, and their energy's actually weakened, okay? And that's an important thing as well, excuse me. I'll also post some information about that in the album that I share into the group with all this information, and you all can use that to cross-reference and plan out your spells. And along with, like I said, go ahead and get that app on your phones, the Star Chart app, and you'll know exactly what position each planet's in, exactly what constellation they're in at the time, and where the moon is, and all of that. So I just wanted to give y'all this lesson, and yeah, if you have questions, like I said, let me know, and we'll move forward with more lessons on astrology as well. Also, too, I want to let you guys know that with the book that I have already written of Hecate's Gnosis, Hecate's Mysteries, and stuff like that, I'm going to go ahead and start teaching y'all a lot of the information that was in there, okay? Because it's taking me way too long to get it published than I thought it would. So what I'm going to go ahead and do for y'all is I'm going to start teaching some of that information and I'm going to go ahead and teach that in this group and teach y'all that information right now, and I'll just get the book published when I can. But I'm going to go ahead and start teaching that to y'all guys now, because it's just taking way too long to get it published. Okay, so there's some stuff called the Keys of Light that Hecate taught me. I'm going to go ahead and start teaching y'all that in videos. I will also be doing the videos of y'all's requests as well. So keep requesting information and videos, but I'm going to, as far as my own lesson plans, I'm going to start teaching y'all the information from the book, okay? It's time for y'all to know it, and it's just taking too long to get it published. So I'm going to go ahead and just start teaching y'all, all right? I think that about does it for this video. And like I said, I'll do the photo album with more information for y'all to do with it, okay? Blessed be you guys. Hail Hecate.